while since my last video, but I've just thought I'd do an update. I've got a few little jobs to do on the Mk2 Golf. I'm just going to replace some banjo bolts on the metering head. Just generally tidy up these fuel injector lines a little bit. The fuel return and supply pipes here, they've got the original banjo bolts with the filters in them. I think they were supposed to have been removed on one of the services, but never got done after all these years. But I've bought some new ones. So these are from a company called Hell Performance in the UK. I think there's only about £4 a bolt. They come with spare copper washers as well. But as you can see, they're just clear bolts with no filters inside. I'm also going to tidy up the injector lines a little bit. I've got the original clips, but looking a bit rusty, so I'm going to tidy these up a little bit as well. Right. So a 17mm socket should do it. The car's been off for a while, so there shouldn't be too much pressure on the system, but it may leak a little bit of fuel, so let's put a cloth under it, catch any spillages. So I'll take this over to the bench and I'll show you the difference in the two bolts. So here's the two banjo bolts. The old one is on the right, the replacement's on the left. As you can see, there's a filter, a very fine filter in the old one. You can see from the top there, there's like a little plastic rim around the top, and you can't see through the edge. The replacement bolt, you can see my finger through it, it's completely open. So I'm hoping it's going to be better fuel flow to the fuel distributor by replacing that. So I've just dug out the Bentley manual and found out the section where it describes the service interval, where you remove the small tiny filter out of this bolt. Feel free to pause the video at this point if you want to have a little read. The replacement's an M12 bolt, it's a 1.5mm thread pitch, so it's a perfect fit if you want to look for a replacement for yours. Nip that up in a second. I believe Hell Performance do all the other bolts as well. You can get different size banjos, so I may replace these all at some point, but I just wanted to concentrate on these main fuel return, supply and return lines first, just to make sure those filters have been removed. And it's running as optimal as it can be. Just prime the fuel pump. Have a little check for leaks. Don't see any leaks there, so that's all looking good. Give it a little try. If you can see in the filter there, it is a little bit blocked up with some of the old fuel. It's a little bit gunked up in the filter, so it's definitely restricting the flow of fuel, I think, which could have been causing some bad running conditions. The tick over certainly seems a lot better anyway since I've put the new Banjo bolts on. You could dig the old filters out of these actually with a screwdriver if you want to just reuse the bolts, but for the sake of a few pounds, for a replacement bolt, it's worth just getting one. Saves you like damaging the existing ones and potentially leaving any bits of plastic or the filter in there. Might as well just get brand new ones. Next job, I think, is to clean up this bracket, which actually holds all the injector lines in place. So I've cleaned up this first injector line bracket, which fits there, but I can't find the other one. I'm missing the one. There should be two. One this side, one this side. So I'm going to make a piece up. I don't have the original one to work with, so I'm just having a look at a picture online. And that's the bracket I have. It's got a slight curve in it. This one's more straight, looking at that. So it should be a bit easier to make actually, because I'm not having to put this bend in it as such. It's more of a straight piece, so let's have a go. So I think I've messed up a bit with this hole. I didn't take into account that these manifold bolts are staggered, and actually it doesn't fit on the top one, it fits there on the back one, so this hole is not actually going to line up. When I do the bend, it's going to be too far back, so it's going to mean that this bracket holding this is going to be out of line. So I might actually, rather than remake the whole bracket again or drill a hole here, I might just move it to this one here. I don't think it'll make a lot of difference, to be honest. It's still going to hold these lines in place, but I think the genuine one did fit there actually, so I can always come back and revisit that later, but I'm going to move it to this one I think, and then I think the bracket will fit correct. So yeah, let's go for this one instead. So just test fitting it now. So I've actually just marked it from these holes. I think it's just more of an accurate measure. And then I've lined that up and marked where I need to make the bend. I don't think that's too bad. Plenty of space for the injector line there. It's not fouling it or going to cause any issues, I don't think. So let's get these polished up and then we can get them fitted. I suppose if you want to go for a really good finish, you can finely sand it with some wet and dry paper first. I'm just going to give it a go with this because it's fairly low scratches in it anyway. I'm just going to see how it goes. If not, I can always go back and get the sandpaper on it more. Polished up, not too bad. As I say, they're not 100%, but I'm not going for like a show and shine condition or anything. It's just to keep it looking tidy. So let's get them fitted. Now that they're fitted, you can actually see how much duller the inlet manifold is since I last polished that. I must admit I've left it, really, I've not took care of it too much, so, and I need to do this bottom half anyway at some point, but it just means removing the injectors, so it's a job for another day I think, but for now I'm just going to get these fitted anyway and tidy up the lines, make it look a bit more presentable. So I need to find the clips as well. I've got them somewhere, so I just need to dig those out, but I'm just going to fit this as is for now, just temporarily. I bought some replacement injector line clips. These were from a place called Classic VW online, quite cheap. Only thing is they're not like an 8-way, they're only like a 6-way, so when it comes to this section here I'll have to be a bit more imaginative how I fit them, but it should be fine along the front row here. And the way these fit is that they've got these little slots in the middle, so they fit neatly onto the slots there. That's why these notches had to be cut out. Right, so I might just remove some of these injector bolts at the top, because I just need to organise these cables a bit neater. So I think I'm getting there. It's a bit confusing. I've had to undo a lot of the lines and just switch a few of these around a bit, just to try and neaten it up, but I think it's getting there. Need to trim this hose down a little bit because it's a little bit of excess here, so I'll get that done. I need to get some clips to fit in these actually, but for the time being I might just zip tie it to the bottom just to hold it in place. I need to see if I can source some of those from somewhere. So I've just trimmed this down a little bit, just taking some of the slack out. I'm just going to zip tie this up with a cable tie just to retain it in place for now. Not going too tight with them, but just enough to hold it in place. So it's just this top one now. I just really need to get something to hold that in place. I might just cable tie one side down for now. I think I've got those brackets somewhere. So I found one of these clips. It's a little bit broken though, one of the lugs off the edge of the clip, so I don't know how well it's going to hold. I'll put one in for now. I'll have to see if I can source some of these online from somewhere. But at least it will hold. In fact no, that side's not holding. Let's try it down this end. At least it will hold it off of the steel which I've polished. I don't want that to get scratched or it'll stop it from knocking. In fact I might zip tie that side just temporarily. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put a little zip tie on. Yeah, just cable tie. It doesn't look the best, but at least it's making it a little bit look a bit more presentable. Hopefully I'll get some more videos up soon. I've got a few other jobs I want to do. I've got a heater matrix. I want to replace the core. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't know how long, when it's last replaced, to be honest. They say that they can break on these old Mk2s. I mean, I've still got the bypass valves in place. They seem to be doing the trick, but I think it's a job worth doing for the sake of £20–30, whatever the cores cost. It's not a great job because it's half the dash out, but that's perhaps my next job, so hopefully I'll get that video released soon when I start work on it. Thanks for watching.